Hey guys, I have a special guest for you guys today. So this is my son and we're gonna be doing his hair today, which needs a lot of work. What we're going to be doing is I was reminiscing about when he was younger and about all the pretty like blonde curls that he had when we were living in California. He's going into high school. So I thought that this is like the perfect opportunity to give him the glow up of his dreams, and as he shakes his head in embarrassment. And we're gonna be doing some highlights in his hair. I'm gonna be doing a permanent color and then also bleach because I want there to be like multiple tones in his hair. So we are gonna mix right now and start the color service. Also, we're gonna be doing a Brazilian blowout just to like soften his curls a little bit too. I'm using ash to control the warmth, which I don't have a 7A, so I'm mixing these two together to create like a 7 caramely tone.
Okay, stop it right now, my little helper. Look at how cute.
Smile. Look at how good of a job.
Okay, here's my son's before, and I kind of have to yank him around a little bit because he keeps wanting to just put his head down because he's so embarrassed, but look at how cute he is. And he's trying to be a tough guy by acting all cool and not smiling, but seriously, look at this face, look at that smile. He's low-key excited. He's so cute. For his color, I'm going to start with the caramely tone. And I'm first going to go on either side of his head. I'm going to do this first foil. And then I'm going to go along the other side of his head and do the other foil. Just directly like on the perimeter of where his haircut is. And then also in the back, I want to make sure that I have like even amount of hair that I'm doing on both sides and in the back. You'll see me for some of these pieces, like for the blonde pieces that I'm doing, instead of like weaving the hair directly from the scalp, I'm finding his little curls as they are in like a little tendril, and I'm just picking those up and I'm grabbing those and bleaching those curls. I don't want to like do a weave and like disturb the curl. I want to grab it as it's intact, so that way I know that like when his hair is all curled and like brushed out and dry, like that curl is gonna be like its own blonde piece of curl instead of like weaving it and disrupting it, and then his curl pattern's kind of out, or he has a little bit of blonde in this curl but kind of in that curl too, and it doesn't really match or whatever. So that's why you'll see me like, instead of weaving, I'm grabbing little specific curls to foil at a time. I'm alternating foiling up the back because I want to bring it up a little bit higher, so that way when I'm foiling across the sides, I don't have to worry about like adjusting the foil or am I matching up with the back or whatever. So I'm going to foil up the back far enough to where I can just foil straight across the top. So basically, I'm just going to continue this for the rest of the foil. I'm going to do like the caramely tone on both sides now that the back is done. And then I'm going to go through and do the blonde on both sides. I'm not going to just do like caramel blonde over the whole top of his head. I want to make sure that each side is proportionate and has the same amount of like pieces of color that will show through. So I'm just going to do this flip-flopping back and forth, and then I'm still leaving a lot of his natural hair out for a subsection. So he's still going to have the majority of his natural hair with just like little pops of like caramely and blonde pieces. Here you can see just a little bit better how I'm trying to find just those little tendrils of curls. The thing is, like, if he doesn't have gel in his hair, then his hair gets frizzy, but he still gets those little curly cues. So I'm trying to gather just those curls because I don't want him to have like frizzy pieces of blonde that don't connect to anything. So that's why I'm trying to grab more specifically to each individual curl. Okay, and here's the full foil that we ended up doing. Again, he's so embarrassed, but you guys, he like so badly wanted to do this and to be recorded. So he's like embarrassed, but this is by his will. This is what I'm using to tone his hair. I'm just doing half and half of each of these together. Here he is with the raw lift before we tone. All right, so here's my son's hair after doing the highlights. I just clarified it because we're going to be doing a Brazilian blowout right now on his hair, but I wanted to show you the color so you can see that we kind of have like a caramely tone in here and then also the brighter color. The toner that I used, because we had to clarify it before the Brazilian, I feel like it probably like pulled some of the tone out. So I might go through and retone after the service because I have to use it with a higher heat and I'm afraid it might burn out the tone. So just keep that in mind that I feel like the toner kind of faded. But that's okay because we can retone it. But here's his curl after being brushed out. He's pretty excited. So now we're gonna go through and do the Brazilian blowout part of the service to help smooth his curls because however much we like the curls, he kind of wants them to fall down a little bit more when he wears his curls down instead of just always kind of coming up. So that's why we're going to do this right now and then finish the haircut off and all that stuff. So that's what we're gonna do right now.
What's up, the Ayo Blevin on TikTok? Slideshow in the nation.
All right, I'm not going to go into much detail on this part of the service, the Brazilian blowout, just because there's so much knowledge and information that goes into a service like this that I think it's something that you really need to do in person and take a class with instead of trying to just watch a video on it. Like, YouTube is good for so many things. Like, if you want to learn different techniques for hair color or knowledge on like formulation and all of that stuff, but some things I think are better done in person. So I really think where did I learn mine? There, like Cosmoprof, or what are some of the other beauty supply stores? We just have Cosmoprof in my area, so that's the one that I go to. But check into your local beauty supply store because they often host classes and a lot of times they're free. So that would be a really good place for you. That's where I learned how to do my Brazilian blowout. And then you buy the kit with it, and it comes with like all the solution and the flat iron and everything you need. So I would highly recommend that to get the best knowledge that you can on providing the service for your clients. Also, don't come for me saying calm down and being so rough on his hair. I'm literally have my video at like 5 times the speed, so it looks extra aggressive. It's not. He's like not complaining or anything. So for this part of the service, we're going to go through and flat iron his hair at the suggested temperature and go over it as many times as we need to and smooth his hair. And all that stuff that you're seeing is burning off. It's not his hair, it's the product. So that's why it's good to take the actual class, because it goes over all of this. It gets pretty like cloudy and stuff. I'm going over it a little bit more than recommended because I want to make sure that I'm trying to like smooth his hair as extra as possible. But he's excited just to see his hair straighten because he's never done this, so he thinks it's pretty funny. All right, so here's his hair after smoothing it out, and you can tell that it needs a good trim. So we're going to snip it up a little bit, and then that's it. Okay, so we just got done flat ironing and now rinsing out and washing, not washing his hair, but just basically rinsing out the Brazilian blowout. And I'm just gonna comb it out. I can already tell that his curl is a lot more relaxed. I went over it, I did 7 passes out the roots, and then I went over it again 7 times through the ends. The ends were a little frazzled looking, so I did go through and trim his ends. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it air dry. I haven't put anything in it. Just as when I clarified it before and then it just air dried, you could see how it was drying. So now I'm just gonna comb through it as it is with no conditioner or serums or anything in his hair. Alexa, resume music. I'm just gonna do a quick haircut on him so you guys can watch me do this, and then you'll see the finished result. We ended up doing some braids on his hair that he wanted to wear with some beads, so that's what we did. But I'm sorry, like I forgot to take like a better picture and video. And then at the very end, he has his curls down, so you'll be able to see how the smoothing treatment helps his hair like fall down a little bit more over his face instead of just like, you know, standing straight up as what it normally would do. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you like it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, so here is fresh haircut, finished. We're gonna let his curl air dry a little bit more. Actually, we're gonna start putting some braids in his hair, but I wanted to show you guys how his curls look. Stop looking down. How his curls look after the whole service and the color and everything. So look at that cutie.
Wow.
Here's his braids that he wanted with his beads. And then his first picture, first day of high school, freshman year. I love you, son.